Hey guys, Lethal Leslie here, and today I'm going to be going through every different type of freaker and explaining a little bit about each one. Going to try and keep it as short as I possibly can, don't want it to run for too long guys, so let's get straight into it. The first thing I need to do is give you a little disclaimer in that I don't have this last freaker here, and the reason I'm making the video before finding this freaker is because I'm not even sure if this is available yet. I'm not sure if this is maybe to do with future DLCs, because there are DLCs coming to the game. But if you guys know what this last freaker is, let me know in the comment section down below, just so I can kind of tick it off my own list, because currently for me it's still undiscovered. With that being said, the first freaker on the list is the Swarmer, so let's get straight into it. So first on the list and most common are the Swarmers. They're easy to kill, they're weak, they're only one shot in the chest with the better weapons on the game, so you don't even need to get the headshot. But obviously, they're also the same freakers that you're going to find in the massive hordes. So it becomes strength in numbers, and it's tough to beat them when they're in a horde of like 300-400 or something like that. And that's what makes them a great addition to the game, really, is when they're in the hordes. Because other than that, you can just melee them to the face once, or shoot them in the chest once, or obviously any headshots will just kill them easily. Also very easy to sneak up on. They struggle to see you and all that stuff as well. So they're the most common that you're going to see, and they're basically everywhere across the whole map. Moving into the second, and we have the Newts. Now, the Newts are basically kids, guys. You'll find them in places with rooftops, and they're actually not that common once you get quite far in the game. You don't bump into them that often, but they're literally the weakest of the whole lot. I think I said the first ones were the weakest, the Swarmers, but when I think about it, the Newts are extremely weak. It just takes one shot with any melee or one bullet, and they go straight down, obviously because they are adolescents, basically kids. And the one thing that's different about them, really, obviously, other than the way they look, is the fact they will go on rooftops. They won't really attack you. They'll run away from you if you're on the ground most times. They'll go up onto rooftops, and if you go up there, then they will attack you. But their attacks are extremely weak, and there's nothing really to worry about. But I'm sure you know this, because this is very early on that you bump into the Newts on the game anyway. Moving on to the third on the list here, and we have the Screamer. Now, you're not going to come across the Screamer for quite a while in the game, and what they do basically is if you get too close, they will scream, and then you'll get a swarm of freakers upon you. Not too many, you seem to get 6, 7 maximum, I would say, come from a scream, and if you get really close and they scream, it will also damage you on top of that, so obviously don't get too close. They are a one-shot headshot as well, so it's never too hard to kill them, so if you see one, just pop them in the head, and it's job done. Moving on to the next one, we have the Breaker. Now, these can actually be quite the challenge. They stay on you, they run, they try and hit you, and they do a lot of damage as well, and they never stop coming. That's the thing. So they are quite a challenge to kill. I tell you what works extremely well on these is flashbangs. You can get completely away from one. If you have one flashbang, he stays flash for a long time. You can also sneak up on these. If you go to the skill tree, you'll see that you have an option to buy in the melee section where you can buy an upgrade to be able to kill these in one shot if you do sneak up on them. I think it is quite far on that you get that near the end of the skill tree for the melees, but you know, it is an option that you want to get that when you can obviously get it, so that you can just sneak up and stab them. They also sponge a lot of bullets. They feel like they can take so many bullets, so try and get a lot of headshots in your bullets. It's going to do a lot more damage, going to help you out a lot. But like I said, the main key to these, I would say, if you have a flashbang, use that flashbang, you'll be able to kill them with no problem. They're not too much of a challenge on their own, and they're probably my favourite freak on the whole game to fight. They actually are a challenge, and they're quite fun to fight, really. Next up, we have the Bleachers, and they're very much like the Swarmers, but they're just a little bit stronger. For instance, a Swarmer will take 1-2 bullets kind of thing maximum, whereas a Bleacher can take up to 4-5 bullets. I'm talking about bullets in the chest here. They are also a one-shot headshot, these as well. So obviously, if you do see one, you can aim for the head to preserve the ammo. Other than that, on the Bleachers, there isn't too much to say. They're not that common, really, and they're relatively easy to kill, to be honest. One thing I would like, though, if we could have with the Bleachers, maybe as DLC one day, I haven't seen any yet, but if we had swarms of Bleachers, now they would be proper tough swarms to kill. You know, each zombie in that swarm taking 4 or 5 bullets to kill, or more damage from grenades and Molotovs and all that kind of stuff. That would be a really good addition to the game, in my opinion, adding a real challenge with the Bleachers. Bleacher swarms kind of thing. That'd be a really good idea in my opinion. But anyway, other than that, they're relatively easy to kill, and not too much more to say on them. Next up, we have the Reacher, which is the last form of infected human on the list, and these are relatively strong. They're fast, and they take a lot of bullets to kill, but I've never really had any problems with them. You can sneak and just stab them from the back, so if you see one, you can sneak up on it and kill it if you want to preserve ammo, because they will take a fair bit of ammo, but in general, they're nowhere near as good as the Breakers, in my opinion, if that's what they are called. Yeah, the Breakers are far, far better, in my opinion, than the Reachers, because they just don't do much. they don't really come for you. They go for a lot of freakers. If there's freakers around you, they tend to chase the freakers instead of you. So they're not really a hard kill. They're supposed to be like, whoa, the hardest one that you see out of all of them is the way that the storyline brings them out, as in they're probably the best. But to be honest, I find them as one of the easier zombies to kill, freakers to kill even, because they don't really tend to cause me much problems. They're more running around fast instead of actually attacking you. I think they should try and attack you more using their speed kind of thing. But yeah, that is the last of the human infected. Now we're going to go over to a couple more. So next up we have the Rager, which is the bear, the infected bear. You can get infected and uninfected animals in the game. Obviously, if you get an uninfected bear, you can then take the meat out of it, and if you get an infected animal, you just take the bounty, which is the ears, and then you go and collect that in camp. And the Ragers are really hard to kill, as in they soak up so many bullets. They maybe take something like 100 plus 150 bullets successful shots. So basically what I try to do is I try to burn them. It seems to slow them down a lot. So if you hit them with a Molotov and then start laying into them, you will do a lot of damage, and they'll stay put. They can kill you quite fast as well. Their attacks do a lot of damage, so you want to be careful not to get hit. What I'd suggest is when they get close, wait for them to do the attack animation and then just roll away. Rolling is so important when it comes to avoiding all these top-end predators in the game, in my opinion. And last but not least, we have a runner, which is an infected wolf, and just like any animal, they can come infected and they can come uninfected, but obviously if they're infected, they are called runners. And yeah, they're okay. They're just like wolves on steroids, basically. They take maybe double, triple the shot of a wolf, and that's basically all they bring to the table. And that's all the different types of freakers, of course, bar this one here, the Undiscovered, which I'm really excited to find out what this Undiscovered one is. The storyline at the end of this game, guys, well worth playing. Yeah, I'm not going to say any more than that. I'm just going to say when you get to the end of the game, I can't wait to start talking to people about what happens at the end of the game. Any questions on the freakers, leave them in the comment section down below. If you liked the video, subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks for watching, as always, and take it easy.